Hello everyone, this is the voice of YouTube's very own Shadow the Hedgehog here, coming with you with my very first Dragon Ball discussion. I'm not going to go in depth with like what Geekdom 101 does in this first discussion. I want to talk about a certain character, correction, two characters that appeared in Dragon Ball Super Broly, and a little movie that came out in the US in January 16th that blew everyone away, including myself. I saw it in theaters and it was amazing. And the funny thing is, I wasn't feeling good, but that wasn't stopping me from seeing this movie. As well, most people know, around the time that it came out in the U.S., that was when the whole controversy started happening with the voice actor Broly, Vic Mignogna. Mignogna. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna go into depth with what happened. If you guys want to know my honest opinions about that, I made two videos previously about what I thought, and yeah, so let's get started. Dragon Ball Super Broly is technically the fourth movie with Broly in it, but the Broly we see in this movie is Toriyama's version, but there are similarities between the OG Broly and the new Broly. Like they both can go into a rampage. They can both go Legendary Super Saiyan. The difference between the two is that their normal Super Saiyan form, the OG Broly had pupils, but the new Broly doesn't, and I kind of like that. I think I think both of his transformations, the regular Super Saiyan and the legendary Super Saiyan transformation, looks amazing in this one. But I still also like the OG Broly a lot too. A friend of mine got me the Broly triple feature Blu-ray, and I watched the original, and I have to admit, and I know that, I mean, the new Broly was definitely better written, and I do have to agree with people on that, but watching the OG Broly movies, he is fun to watch, especially in the legendary Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan movie. I mean, I know that this exists in the dub. I'm not sure if it exists in the sub. I'm going to be watching those movies with the original Japanese voices eventually. But one of my favorite quotes in there is when Goku's like, "Hey, why didn't you give us a handicap?" And then Broly replies going, "Handicap? Is that another word for coffin?" I'm sorry if my Broly impression wasn't as good this time around. But, yeah, I mean, I love both Brawlies, and I think, in my opinion, I think the OG Brawly is still going to be very popular. But I think this new Brawly is going to be able to stand on its own. Because the thing is, it's like, there's going to be fan of Broly that's going to love both. And I'm one of those fans. But then you have the people that don't like the OG Broly because of his backstory. Because let's be honest, the whole, like, Broly hating Goku, Kakarot, because of him crying his baby was indeed a stupid decision. If they made his backstory similar to how they did it in Super, I think people wouldn't have a bigger problem with him. But I mean, that's another thing too. Like they are two sides of the same coin because, in my opinion, the Broly that we see in the fourth Broly movie is pretty much a what if like Prince Vegeta, not Prince Vegeta, King Vegeta didn't order him and Paragus to be executed, and so in a way he's sane, but like what Chilai said, he is basically a kid in he's basically still a kid, even though that he's a grown man. With the OG Broly, because of what happened as a baby and because of the power, it made him not sane. That's why Paragus had to control him. Actually, the same reason applies to both Broly's, because if they were to unlock their full power, they both would just go berserk and just destroy everything. And because of that, Paragus made sure to get rid of Broly's tail. And I'm assuming Paragus did that in both continuities for the same reasoning. The difference being is that the new Broly has a form called Fury Form, and that is basically a great ape's power in the human body. That's why he's able to shoot a ki beam out of his mouth, because that's what great apes do. And not only that, his eyes go yellow, which a lot of people believe that's like a little bit of a wink to Super Saiyan 4, because as what you Dragon Ball fans know, is that how you become a Super Saiyan 4 is you have to gain control of the Golden Ozaru transformation. And Super Saiyan 4 has yellow eyes, and it's basically a freaking great ape condensed down to, in my opinion, the Super Saiyan 4 transformation is basically a great ape in a human body. Hence why Super Saiyan 4 is more primal looking. That's why anyone that achieves it has more wild hair. It's a very primal form. It is the form that Saiyans would get if they didn't have God Ki. And not to mention, Super Saiyan 4 is my favorite Saiyan transformation of all time, but that will be a separate video. So, like I said, there are similarities between the two. The difference being, another big difference, that the new Broly doesn't hate Kakarot. They will actually become basically training partners and probably rivals. So, we'll definitely see what will happen with this new Broly in the future. I'm sure that they will use him again, because why not? I'm hoping they don't use him too much, because I would rather have his appearances to be kind of like a special occasion type thing. But we know that Goku's gonna be training with him, so, and maybe just maybe we may see Broly gain God in Blue, or maybe just maybe they could introduce Super Saiyan 4 and maybe make that be the form that Broly gets. Just, if they do, Toyotaro, if you, for some reason, find this video, please keep the Super Saiyan 4 transformation on how it looks, because that is something that doesn't need to be changed. You can change the requirements of getting the Super Saiyan 4, but keep the design the same. But, oh yeah, one of my other favorite parts of the new movie was when, was at one part too, where you see Broly rise up, and you just see his eyes, he slowly goes up. That was kind of, that was scary. That made Broly intimidating. And, overall, I loved the new movie, but watching the OG Broly movie, it made me realize, why I like Broly as a character, and why I still think the OG Broly is still a fun character to watch. Yes, I know that version of Broly is no longer canon. I get that, but he's still fun to watch, and his freaking one-liners is just brutal. Oh my god. But now we're gonna get into something that I am negative about, and it's the fact that they used Dragon Ball minus the Dragon Ball minus chapter the one one of the things, and probably the only thing, that Dragon Ball fans definitely dislike. That probably let me rephrase this. The only thing that Toriyama fans actually don't like. Now, as what people don't know what Dragon Ball Minus is, it's pretty much explaining the Saiyans, how Frieza got rid of them. It is pretty much a remake, in a way, a manga remake of Bardock, the father of Goku, but this time we get to see Goku's mother, and in my opinion, she's a total adorable cinnamon roll that needs to be protected. And he changed Bardock. Yes, he still has the scar, but they changed his personality and they changed his armor, and I don't like that one bit. Bardock was a character that did not need to be changed. If they wanted to make it more softer, and I think a good way how they could have done it was around his teammates. He could be how he was, arrogant, saying like, I don't care about that kid. But then when he's home, he only shows the soft side of him to Gine and his kids. That's how I think that's how I would have rather have him do it. And plus, if he wanted to go back and do his version of it, of the events of when Frieza destroyed the Saiyans, he could have maybe done like a separate manga volume and maybe do it that way, because Bardock wasn't a character that needed to be changed, in my opinion. I like Bardock's design. I like his bandana. I like what that symbolizes. This new Bardock is the problem with Dragon Ball Minus as a whole. It feels too much like a Superman backstory. That's pretty much what it is. Another thing they changed was that Goku is wearing Saiyan armor when he gets shot to Earth. I have not read the manga yet of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. That's on my bucket list. I don't know if they showed Goku without the Saiyan armor when Grandpa Gohan finds him. But that's something I dislike greatly. I mean, I didn't mind it so much in the movies, and they did show a little bit of a nod to the original Bardock special, to where you see Bardock fly up and launch his signature attack, and then he gets destroyed, and his pose is similar. But in my opinion, that was unnecessary. And I do believe that chapter only exists to show Goku's mother, in my opinion. And yeah, overall, I'm liking the route that they're taking with Brawly. I just don't like the fact that they used the Dragon Ball Minus version of Bardock in this movie. In my opinion, if I'm gonna do, I think one of these days I might have to do my own headcanon timeline, and kind of give you like how I would watch Dragon Ball, and kind of create my own timeline type of thing. So anyways, yeah, this is my first. Oh yeah, Gogeta. I loved what they did with him in the new movie. To me, he felt like a combination of his Fusion Reborn and GT personality, to where yes, he was cocky, but he would wipe the living shit out of Broly. Like, my God. And seeing him go blue was badass. And they even gave him the what's something Punisher. I know the name, I can't remember what it is, but you all know the technique, he freaking lifts off his head and it creates a rainbow key orb, and then he crushes it and then he throws it at his opponents. It's the move that he used to neutralize full-powered Janemba in the Fusion Reborn movie. But yeah, I mean, I'm loving. I am definitely loving how they're treating Broly, but I still like the OG Broly a lot too. So, but in terms of Bardock, I think that the OG Bardock is always going to be the more popular one. Um, that was a very unnecessary change in my opinion. They didn't need to give Goku more of a similarity to Superman than what there already is. But that's my opinion. Uh, if any of you wants to debate this with me, feel free to, and we can get a discussion going. And as always, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to know when all my videos go live. And I will talk to you all later.